Bertha's mother and dad, probably around 1926. There's Aunt Jessie and Uncle Bill, mother and dad, on their wedding day. I believe they were living in Bellevue at the time, or in the Pittsburgh area. There's mother and dad, Bill and I. There's mother. I'm not sure what date that is. Probably around 25, 24, something like that. Well, it would have to be 25 or 6, I guess. They only came over in 25. There's Bill and I as kids. There's Rosie on the left. That was taken in Bellevue. Bill and I and Bertha. I like Bertha's hat here. Now there's the old farm. That would have to be after 1945, 46. We moved from Bellevue to Clarion County. There's the old farmhouse. There's old lady, an old farm dog. Everybody in the area knew her. There's Esther and Shirley Wolf, Bill and I and Bertha. Probably late 40s, early 50s. There's Marky and myself. I'm not sure what date that is. Probably in the 70s. There's our cousin from Germany, Uncle Eric's son, Eric Jr. There we're eating picnic lunch over at Flanagan's. Eric and Gisela and Barrett. Most of the pictures you'll see, I'm sure you'll recognize everybody. That was taken in New Jersey. That was one of the last visits that Dad and Eric and Uncle Carl had together. Aunt Honey's still living, of course. I like that picture. Dad and Aunt Honey. There's Uncle Eric and Dad. Now that's Mother and Dad's 35th or 40th wedding anniversary. Probably 35. There's Betty and Kim. Bill and Mark, the rest of the family. Oh, there's Mrs. Gutinger and Aunt Bertha. They came over one summer together to visit us. Our famous Thanksgiving pictures. Dad's birthday, I'm sure that's what that is. 4th of July picnic, probably. There's Bert and her 2 daughters. That was the Christmas visit that they had in 1991, and everybody got flu. They were all deathly sick. Now that's Eddie, fell in a post hole. That was one of Aunt Bertha's first trips when she was here, so that must go back to 1969 or 70. That was in Washington, D.C. Rexy in the middle. I'm not sure who the little kid is on the left. And Eddie, of course, on the right. Eddie and Grandma's cat. Now that's Matthew, I believe. McDonald. There's Mr. Danner. Guess who? Somebody snapped me while I was on the job back in the 70s. There's Carl Hollenweger on the left, our second cousin from Germany. And there's Helen Schaefer on one of her visits to us. Bill and Bertha. There's the first grandchild for Bert and John. Now that's a German picture. That's mother and dad, Grader, their wedding picture in 1900. That's Mother on the right-hand end of that little group in front of her house in Strasbourg, Alsace-Lorraine, or Germany, however you want to put it. And that's in Oberkirch. On the main street, they had a barber shop, and they lived in that house on the second floor. That's Mother in the doorway there to the left. Grandpap standing in the door of the barber shop. That's Grandpap and Mother's two cousins. Where it was taken, I'm not sure. Probably in I've forgotten now where. There's Mother holding the guitar. And we'll pan back and get the whole group. There's Grandmother, Grader, with the white hair on the right. Grandpap's lying on the front there with a beer bottle in his hand on the left. That's Grandmother Grader. I think that was her. She didn't have very many pictures. That was a passport picture that I tried to doctor up and make a portrait. That's Mother when she was about 3 years old in Strasbourg. And this is Dad's mother and father's wedding picture taken around 1900 in Germany. That's Grandfather Rustle. That was probably taken in the 40s, by the looks of that. Zur Erinnerung an Weihnachten 1924, deine liebe Mutter. As a remembrance of your mother on the Christmas of 1924, and then Grandmother's pictures on the other side. She sent that to Dad. He never saw his mother again after he left Germany, or his father. And that's Grandmother and Fritz, Uncle Fritz, about 1919. And that's Rudy, about 1912, Uncle Rudy. There's Dad, and two of his friends, or whoever they are, I'm not sure, on the boat before they left from Hamburg for America, about 1925. Grandmother and Grandfather Brustle, and there's Aunt Bertha and Uncle Fritz. That's probably shortly before he died in '62. This is one of Aunt Bertha's early visits to America with Mother. died several months later. She died the last day of January, '92. That's Aunt Bertha and Susan McDonald, Susan Brustle McDonald. That was taken last September, October, too, 1991. That's Aunt Hilda, Uncle Eric, Mother and Dad, and Bertha in Germany. One of her visits to Germany. That's Aunt Hilda on one of her birthdays. She always sends a picture on her birthday. That's Eric and Gisela and Barrett and Tanya. There's Barrett and Tanya again. They're grown-up young ladies today, 25, 27 years old. No, I guess 26 and 23. There's Tante Bertha, Lena, and Uncle Otto, but I can't think of the last names, and Dad and Mother. That was my dad's favorite aunt, Aunt Lena. And that is Roysley and Georg and family in Germany. This is Hollenweger's house in Mappa. It's Tante Lena on her 100th birthday. She died 6 months later. I think she was 106 months old when she died. There's some more aunts. That was taken in Hollenweger's house. That's Tante Lena and some of her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, I guess. Hollenweger's and Aunt Hilda. And I'm not sure who the other lady is. There's Aunt Hilda again. That was taken in their house in Oberkirch. Uncle Eric, Tanya and Barrett, as you can see, they've grown up. There's Eric and Gisela, Tanya and Barrett. And Mother and Dad enjoying the family album. I hope everybody enjoyed the pictures.
I didn't mean to frighten you, my lord. Finding you down here in the dungeons is most unexpected.
I lost my way in these foul passages. I didn't know which turn to take.
It's well for you didn't take that way to the regent's cell. You will follow me, my lord. I will lead you back to safety.
Tell me, have any of your prisoners ever escaped?
Never. They'd need a lot of help to overpower my guards.
And so, my lords Mold Brindover, the Marquis Duval is here with us.